Jillanory.
Until he was 4 years old, James Henry Trotter had a happy life.
Hello, good afternoon, children. Today we're going to read Red, a crayon story. Are you ready? Red, a crayon story by Michael Hall. He was red, but he wasn't very good at it. Oh dear, said Little Green. His teacher thought he needed more practice. I'll draw a red strawberry. Then you draw a red strawberry. You can do this, really. But he couldn't, really. Like this? Oh my, let's try again. His mother thought he needed to mix with other colours. Why don't you two go out and draw a nice, round orange? A really big one. A really orange one. But they made a big greenish one. Yuck. Oops. His grandparents thought he wasn't warm enough. Your class is making self-portraits for parents' night. Wear this warm red scarf. It's so nice on you. But it wasn't so nice. Oh dear me. Everyone seemed to have something to say. Sometimes I wonder if he's really red at all, said Amber. Hazelnut said, Don't be silly. It says red on his label. He came that way from the factory. Frankly, I don't think he's very bright, said Fuchsia. Well, I think he's lazy, said Grape. Right, he's got to press harder, said Army Green. Steel Grey said, really apply himself. Sunshine. Give him time. He'll catch on. Sea Green. Of course he will. But he didn't catch on. Green Frog. Black Sheep. Brown Cow. Red. Ack. All the art supplies wanted to help. The masking tape thought he was broken inside. This will help you hold yourself together. The scissors thought his label was too tight. One snip should do it. I thought he wasn't sharp enough. Stay still now. But even with all our help and all his hard work, he just couldn't get the hang of it. One day, he met a new friend. Will you make an ocean for my boat? I can't. I'm red. Will you try? So he did. Thank you. It's perfect. You're welcome. It's easy. And he didn't stop there. Blue bells, blue jeans, blue bird, blue berries, blue whale. I'm blue. And he was blue. and everybody was talking. My son is brilliant, said Olive. Who could have known he was blue, said Amber. I've always said he was blue, said Hazelnut. It was obvious, said Cocoa Bear. Berry, his blue ocean really lifted me. Sea Green, all of his work makes me happy. His blue strawberries are my favourites. He's so intense, said Apple Green. Yellow said, I'm going to make a green lizard with him. A really big one. Grape, or Grey, said, I hear he's working on a huge new project. He's really reaching for the sky. And he really was. The end. And what's that story about, you might ask? Well, it's about grooming children into thinking that they can be something on the inside that they're not on the outside. And how do you know that, Kellie-Jay? How indeed. So, I thought I'd look into some lesson plans for you so you can see exactly what's going on. But first, I'm going to play you a little bit of this. It's a bit difficult to hear. We've put subtitles. They're not perfect, but we've put some subtitles on it for you so you can see exactly what happened. So this is for children like in Key Stage 1. In America, I've got a lesson plan from a 5th grade, but this is, which I also think are, that's Key Stage 2. But I went into a school with a mother, and she was concerned that this story was read when she told the school that they weren't allowed to teach her child this crap. So I think it's worthwhile to listen to. Hang on, let me just make sure you can hear it as loud as possible. There we go.
The red crayon book prior to the red crayon book has nothing to do with gender identity. So it's a book about being yourself. So for example, it talks about how a crayon, there's a blue crayon and it's got a red wrapper around it. And it colours in and it colours in blue. And people keep saying to him, you should be colouring yourself. So it talks the sort of things that children came up with. It's a bit like when I feel like I should play football because all of the other children like football and football's cool. So I feel.
So bearing in mind, this is what these teachers, they were both safeguarding leads in a school, and they were outright lying to the mother about this book.
Like I should be a person who plays football and I pretend to like football because everybody else does. Have you read the reviews on everything on Amazon, on all the different reviews, and also on the publisher's website as well? I can't say that I've read all of it. It does quite clearly say that it's a resource to teach about identity, including. She felt deeply uncomfortable in that lesson. She wrote the name of the book on her hand because she was like, this feels like basically fake, and like you should actually just be comfortable in yourself wherever you are. And it's not. I don't think it is a red crayon with a blue wrapper. I think it is a full-on. Like it's not about actually being mislabeled. I think you could take any book and you could teach transgender, you teach gender identity through it. That isn't how the book was used in our lesson. That wasn't how it was taught. I've looked through the planning. I've spoken to the teaching team. That wasn't how it was taught. It's like saying I could go into a room and look really happy, but what's going on inside is I'm feeling sad, and it certainly wasn't a lesson where.
So they're trying to pretend that actually it's about how you feel inside, when actually the book is expressly read to talk about gender identity. And these are in not just in the No Outsiders program, but if your school is a No Outsiders school, this is definitely being taught to your children. And I'll show you a lesson plan in a minute from a No Outsiders school to show you exactly what the whole point of this book is, which, let's face it, we all know what the point of the book is. At the end of the book, for example, the crayon has changed its name from red to blue. So it's all about like the new name.
Teachers were signing there saying this could be a male crayon, but it's actually identified as a girl. That's not the context of the lesson. And there may be some bodies who use that with an agenda, or who use that in a certain way to promote their way of thinking, or to back up. But that's not how it's used, and that's not what the planet says.
Okay, well, you can find this whole video on YouTube. So let me just show you a lesson plan. So this is Seattle, but it was in Seattle probably than it was over here. So red has a bright red label, but in fact he's blue. And then it's about being true to your inner self. Identify trusted adults. So this is the objective of the lesson: to describe how outside influences can shape and impact ideas regarding gender roles, identity, and expression. Promote respect, identify trusted adults, and ask about questions about gender identity and sexual orientation. And that's for 5th grade. So then if we move on to the United Kingdom, a crayon story by Michael Hall. To be proud of who you are is the intention of the book. And where is it? So this is, I think I wanted to show you because this is year 4. So this is 7-year-olds. Year 3, yeah, 7 and 8-year-olds. And I think it said, maybe it's not on this lesson, but it does talk about prejudice. So yeah, it's my son is brilliant. How do you think who in the story changes everything for Red? How do you think that changed Red's life? Look at what his mum says on the last page. Olive says, my son is brilliant. How do you think it makes Red feel? And at the end, he appears to change his name. And he now feels accepted and proud. So that is definitely a conversation about gender identity. So let's go on to another one. Now, this is for much younger children reading this. It does say somewhere. Year 2. So this is even younger. This is 6 and 7-year-olds. So they think that that is what you should be reading at 6 and 7 years old. And it's like, do we know everything about someone just by looking at them? And it's just grooming. It's just blatantly grooming. And then we also have another lesson plan here, and this is for year 4. This is a school called Rushmead Primary in Leicester. And we've also, the last one was Parkfield Primary School, which is a faith-based school. And then here, what is the point of this lesson? To be proud of who you are. It's in relationships, and it's things about prejudice. Where did I see that? Some people are different, and they should be free from prejudice, and discuss what prejudice means. So that's why I wanted to show you, because I think it's really important that you understand that this is not covered by the recent ruling. All right, it's not, but it is in all your kids' schools. But it's not covered by the recent ruling. This is not going to stop. No outsiders is still operating. The Labour government, as far as I'm aware, have no intention on getting rid of it, and getting all this crap out of schools. In fact, I think they'll probably double down. So this is the book. It's called Red, a Crayon Story. It's by Michael Hall, and it is a book used to introduce the themes to very small children, to introduce the themes of transgenderism. And the whole point of that is if you like some things and you dress a certain way, then your inner self is crying to get out, and everybody must accept you as something you're not. So that's what the blue crayon inside, the red shell of the crayon is clearly a girl, and the inside is a boy. So, look, if you like what I do, and I think you should, why don't you get yourself some of these ready for the bank holiday weekend? But yes, do have a look it up. I'll just link that whole conversation, which is probably easier to follow if you want to have a look. But that's what they're teaching in our schools up and down the country. And if it's not this book, it'll be another one. Tune in next week where I read a picture book for very small children written by Juno Dawson. If you can speak up and continue, even though some people might have foolishly thought we had won everything, then I promise we will win. If you can ensure that you don't settle for any sort of recognition of a man as anything other than a man, then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Well, because I never lose. What should we have? Let's have this.